Trump's got to be the guy to come in there and say, Vlad, I get it, but you got to calm down.
And by the way, remember, multiple presidents from Russia asked to join NATO each time they would turn down. Why'd you turn down the membership? What's your point? If I'm willing to join, why are you turning it down? Why are you not interested? Why does Clinton first say, yes, let's talk about joining NATO, and then 8 minutes later, whatever it is, well, not right now, maybe later. Yeah. Why not? We had interest in wanting to have peace. So this is the part where, you hear the pundits, what they're saying. You hear what streets, the people, the voters are saying. You hear what the actual leaders are saying, their argument, Putin's argument, Zelensky's argument. You hear all they're saying, and you have to sit there and go like, dude. And then you go study a little bit of history on what happened in the past. Look, this didn't just accidentally happen, right? You don't just one day wake up and say, yeah, let's go attack them. No, you've been poking the bear. So, question here. What does Zelensky need to do? That's what the sound is. It's this chair that keeps making that sound. Back up a little bit, and keeps hitting the bottom.
Out of this part. Look, I put this down.
Yeah, that's what this is what's making the sound.
Yeah,
What is that
I'm so
sound?
sorry, man.
No,
First
listen.
time
There's a
chair.
mouse in your rapping.
But let me tell you this. So, okay, so far here's what we're doing. How many Russians have died?
Hundreds of thousands.
I hear 500,000, 2 million.
Russians.
And what about
Same as
pull up? I think it's even Steven. Some say more Russians than Ukrainians, some say more Ukrainians.
Before you pull this up,
Depends on who's writing you.
I've actually read on this. They say collectively, there's been collective million people either dead or injured.
Okay, so now watch this.
We're not talking tens of thousands.
No,
We're talking hundreds of thousands, possibly even millions.
But here's the point. So you are the leader of Russia. Think like him. Former KGB, strategic. You are all about USSR. You are about that.
Yes.
Right? Okay. They kill 500,000 of your people. You threaten with a nuclear weapon. You do nothing. They keep attacking. They say, let's accelerate the process of going to NATO. Zelensky keeps coming to U.S. and U.S. defends him. EU defends him. Everybody's taking his side. They keep giving him money, right? Weapons, everything, whatever way you want to say it. Long-range missiles. You do it, I'm gonna drop a nuclear weapon on you. He does it. Biden says do it. U.S. says do it. They do it. You now are sitting here with your handlers. You have a countdown. You know how you're in the military, you can't wait to get out of boot camp and you go like this? You know which one I'm talking about. Like you're in jail, you're counting, you do these, this is how many days I got. I mean, I remember my locker had this with boot camp, right? We're going through it. You're counting down 60 until Trump's here. A guy that you can negotiate with. Tough guy, but at least you can negotiate with. What does Zelensky have to do now? What else can Zelensky do for you to use a nuclear weapon? What? It's either nothing, he can spit in your face, and you're not going to do anything. So guess what? Imagine if you're fighting somebody, you spit in the guy's face. He's been telling you he's going to nuke you. He's been telling you he's going to punch you in the face. You push him, doesn't punch. You kick him, doesn't punch. You call his girl out, doesn't punch. You throw...
Sorry, jag råkade trycka fel så det avbröt sändningen. Så jag startar en ny. Ja.
This guy's not going to punch. Or what needs to happen for you to throw the punch that you claim you're going to throw? Maybe Putin is just not going to do it. It's either your risk is you have two choices. Okay? You have a hand. Everything's out. You know you have a decent hand. But you know that guy's been chasing the flush. And the last one, a hard hit. 6 of hearts. There's 3 hearts. You're like, oh shit. If that guy's got it.
Tjena morfar. Hur står det till i stugan? Är det kallt? Ja. Ja. Nej. Ja, okej. Okay. Ja. 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 Och det är bra kondition. Ja. Ja, vad har hänt idag då? Mm. Ja. Mm. Blev det några räkmackor sen? Ja. Nej. Mm. Ja. Det är svampstuvning på. Ja, ja. Jag såg att de hade på Coop, den nyöppnade Coop. Där hade de falukorv för 20 spänn. Ja. Det är väl hoppressat slaktavfall. Ja. Bara man slipper se vad det har varit så går det mesta ner. Mm. Ja. Och snart är november slut. Ja. Härligt. Ja, jag får göra det. Mm. Och ställa fram porslinstomten som står på golvet. Det är det jag brukar ha framme. Ja. Jo. Vad är det på tv ikväll då? Ja. 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 Kan ni ha kö på tuben? Ja. Har ni kollat något på tuben? Ja, det finns ju mycket som helst där att kolla på. Inte så mycket filmer med folk som pratar om saker och ting. Ja. 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 Jo, men vi får höras då. Ja, hej. Mm. Tack bra själv då.
Lite trött
Nej. Ja, det tycker du. Den där det var bara en flaggstång som de hade satt upp. Ja. Jag har varit och tittat på den. Det ska nog vara, det ska vara någon sån där, det är hemmaflagga tror jag. Nej, det är hemma, det är alltså bostadsbolaget. Mm. Ja, det kan jag. Swedbank. Ja. Ja. Det är bara att fixa, det är inga problem. Mm. 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 Nej. Mm. Jag vet inte. Jag har inga kunskaper. Jag har varit och tittat på den. Ja. Ja, men du sa ju att det var någon jävla spionkamera på den. Det är ingen kupol, det är knoppen. Ja. Nej, det tror jag inte. Nej. Ja, men det är ingen som springer in en flaggstång. Mm. Jag vet inte, han är i Linköping tror jag. Hos någon kompis. Jag vet inte. Nej, det vet jag inte. Han trivs bra där de är. Ingen aning. Mm. Mm. Nej. Mm. 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 Ja. Jo. Nej, det var när jag gick på etisk-behandling. Ja, det har jag också gjort. Ja. Ja. Jag fick ont rätt fort och sen var det bara att åka till sjukhuset. 7-8 år. Ja. Mm. Ja. Nej. Ja. Mhm. Mm. Ja. Mm. Mm. Mhm. 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 Pirog? Jag vet inte. Mm. Ja, hon gillar inte det. Nej. 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 Ja. Nej. 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 Det har varit lite smör. Mm. Nej. Mm. Mm. Ja. Jo. Ja, vi får höras. Ja, hej.
But what is the headline that Forbes, owned by the Chinese, that puts up there? What is the headline? The headline is, oh, it's gonna cause price hikes, Trump's gonna cause it to you. He's not even in the,
So that we,
and you want to go here, and you can go to your channel, some things you've added, and they'll be here for you to decide, ooh, I don't want that, or I want to report that comment, or, you know, they accidentally put it there and you can allow it. And then mentions, as you're on there longer, if you get mentioned on other channels, they show up there. Copyright. So this is really cool that if somebody uses your content, now it may be that they've gotten the rights to, or they did and you don't mind, YouTube is smart enough, they'll know that, they'll actually tell you exactly the channel and everything that's using your content, and you can request it to be removed. If you want to, that's up to you. Okay, let's talk about monetization. Now, you're not gonna have to worry about this for a while, and it could be fairly quick.
Like, New York Times says disgraced financier. Well, tell me, did you find his prime broker? Did you find the form? Did you go to his offices in Bullard House? No, nobody does, ever. The story is anti-interesting. It's very different than being uninteresting.
Which would suggest more collusion, more coordination.
Hello? I mean, see, this is one of the most uncomfortable things. I think there was a time when when people said collusion or coordination, the presumption was, well, that's pretty far out there. We now know, like post Elon Musk's $44 billion adventure at Twitter, that there are these coordinating groups, coordinating social media with the intelligence community or with the Department of Homeland Security or with the State Department. We now know that we're living in an orchestrated, curated, choreographed world. And we can't know it officially, but we all know it if we want to know it, which is hysterical. Now we have to talk about, well, are you a conspiracy theorist? Like, I read the Slack messages. I read the emails. What are you even talking about now?
Sam Bankman-Fried.
Yeah.
Currently being recharged.
Yeah.
With witness tampering
Yeah.
as well. That to me, fresh charges, releasing, even though he was told he couldn't get in touch with the press, hundreds of phone calls to the press, leaked his ex-girlfriend, allegedly leaked his ex-girlfriend's diary entries,
Right.
so on and so forth. And, you know, this is a guy that some of my friends were flown to go and see on his island,
Yeah.
his portion of an island.
Yeah, his portion is very different.
Yeah, okay, yeah. For very different reasons as well. There seems to be, and you hear about this, they believe they're above the law. There was this really cool documentary on Netflix called The Murdaugh Murders, and it was this small town, big family, lots of money, and the kids ran rampant, right? Classic,
Right.
like silver spoon aristocracy bullshit. But when it gets scaled up this much more, Sam Bankman-Fried, the biggest financial crime, alleged financial crime, since Bernie Madoff.
Okay.
Yeah. Allegedly tampering with witnesses, allegedly leaking his ex-girlfriend's
Yeah.
diary entries.
And
Do the rules not apply to everybody?
certainly they don't.
Why?
We stopped prosecuting all sorts of types of people. You know, we stopped holding hearings. I grew up in a world where we had the church committee, the Pike committee looking at our own intelligence services. We had Watergate hearings. We had tobacco hearings. We had Iran-Contra hearings. Do you know how many hearings we need right now? Where are these things? It's ridiculous. We've got weird stuff about UFOs with people making the craziest allegations. Look, this is just not normal. We're in totally weird, uncharted territory.
What do you make of the recent UAPs, I think is the new term. Eric, you need to get up with the times here. They're not UFOs anymore. That's the old.
I wasn't even in this game when it was UFOs. So
Okay. So what do you make of the recent UAP stories and detention and response and subsequent response?
I'd like to ask you first.
So I had a look at the first whistleblower from about 2 months ago quite closely with Andy Stumpf, who used to have pretty high-level security clearance, and he explained to me about how unimpressive that particular type of security clearance is, how very common.
Which one? This is David.
Yes, David. No, not David Fravor. He was
No. David Fravor was the Tic Tac.
Correct.
This is David Gorush.
Yes.
Okay.
Very common level of security clearance, but you're using that as some sort of
So, what is the difference between a madman and a genius? Success. Bada bing, bada boom.
Realtors, they're gonna go on and on about the area.
Vi ska gå in på det tredje ämnet för dagen och vi ska prata medborgarskap som ju har kommit på tapeten i samband med att
det var egentligen ett brott som uppmärksammades där en person medan han utreddes för våldtäkt blev medborgare.
Så funkar det i Sverige?
Ja, för det hade ju redan påbörjat, så kan man inte hålla på att avbryta våldtäkten. Ja, det också. Både våldtäkten på Sverige och våldtäkten på den här stackars kvinnan. Men så det är en debatt nu om vem ska få bli medborgare, hur många ska få bli medborgare. Kristdemokraterna har talat, Jimmie Åkesson har blivit här att man har krävt ett medborgarskapsmoratorium. Josef Fransson skriver en skriftlig fråga till ministern och frågar liksom, när blir medborgarskapsmoratorium. Plötsligt börjar det här bli en fråga. Återigen sådär 30-40 år för sent, men ändå. Så vi ska titta lite närmare på det. Ska vi bara börja i det lättaste. Det är väl bara då såga ner KDs debattartikel i Svenska Dagbladet.
Ja, det är inga större.
För de börjar med, och det här var till vår senaste sändning, direktsändning när vi pratade om det här med judisk-kristen.
Ja, just det.
De här, det var det här med TBS skulle ut och sa att de måste erkänna staten Israel just på för att bli svensk medborgare. Nu skriver ju TBS tillsammans med Ebba Busch i Svenska Dagbladet en debattartikel där man också skriver så här. De senaste veckornas värderingsdebatt har synliggjort hur svårt det är för vänstern och en del andra att acceptera att det svenska samhället vilar på judisk-kristen etik. Samtidigt som samma människor aldrig skulle få sina andra samhällens rätt att värna sina rötter och normer. Okej, vi behöver inte ens prata om det. Vi har ett helt avsnitt där vi pratar om det här. Idiotin, judisk-kristen vet efter sina antikristet påfund efter andra världskriget. Gjort för att förstöra kristendomens ställning i Europa. Men då var det de här medborgarskapet, för de tycker att det här måste man ju då godkänna och erkänna för att bli svensk medborgare. Då skriver de: i Sverige har medborgarskapet reducerats till en kravlös formalitet, en fråga om vistelsetid på vårt territorium. Men medborgarskapet borde snarare vara slutstationen på integrationsresan, ett bevis på att man tillskansat sig de kunskaper som är fundamentala för att kunna vara en del av den svenska demokratin. Ett svenskt medborgarskap är ett privilegium, något att vara tacksam för. Genom att göra det svårare att erhålla det, genom att betona också nya svenskars skyldigheter, så ökar medborgarskapets betydelse och attraktivitet. Detta har både praktiskt och symboliskt värde. Frågan är varför det är så viktigt för vänstern att antisemiter och islamister med uppehållstillstånd ska belönas med svenskt medborgarskap. Kristdemokraterna förespråkar obligatorisk undervisning .
Varmt välkommen, hej ska du ha, hej på dig. Vilken insikt häromdagen, det är sådär, jag älskar verkligen att få sådana här saker i vardagen som påminner mig om sakers natur. Och det här är för dig som är ung, det här så.
Do you know if it had been trending down leading up to the election?
It had been, but on election night, MSNBC actually outpaced CNN for I think the first time.
We got this story from Fox News. New York judge grants Trump request to file motion to dismiss charges, cancels sentencing indefinitely. This Trump spokesman labels ruling as a decisive win for the president-elect. Well, Trump's still going to have to come after New York because indefinite delay in sentencing means as soon as he's not president anymore, he's going to be a very old man, and they're going to say, time to go to prison, sir. So he better get that civil rights investigation. I hope Pam Bondi's up for these investigations.
I mean, I think it speaks to, again, the stuff that we were talking about earlier. The consensus is Donald Trump is not the devil, and that it's gonna be okay if we have him as the president. And there was the discussion we had about, on the other day about one of the things that the exit polls were saying, Donald Trump voters were saying, threat to democracy. That's probably part of it, is the abuse of the Justice Department at multiple levels, state and federal level. People are like, look, this is really bad for the country. And I've said this multiple times on the show in the past week. Americans don't trust the Justice Department anymore. They used to, but they don't anymore, right? And it's because of things like the Daniel Penny trial, which if you're plugged in, if you're in New York, I can't imagine you not being aware of it. Like in New York City, you have to be aware of that.
I was talking to when you're going to the side of the Daniel Penny.
You think so?
I mean, I'm just saying most people are just checked out. I mean, sorry to cut you off.
No, it's fine.
I just think most people probably don't even know. If you went to somebody on the street and said, who is the vice president? Not everybody would know it's Kamala Harris. Like people are just checked out. But maybe in New York,
Say Joe Biden.
No, there was people that were like looking up, this is one of the top Google search results right before the election was, is Joe Biden still running?
Yeah.
Just I'm saying, people are just disconnected. But you are right.
You guys
Everybody
are.
knows about Daniel.
Thank you for making the point that universal enfranchisement is a bad thing. Now, but my point being, if you're politically aware, you're definitely aware that like the Justice Department has been politicized at every level. If you're politically aware, you're aware that the government is essentially one party now. It's not like, I mean, 95% of DC voted for Kamala Harris, which is ridiculous because these people are supposed to be in charge and they're supposed to be smart, and they're running for someone that is totally, or they're voting for someone that is totally and clearly inept only because they're of the same party. So they're literally just voting for the machine to run the government. They weren't voting for Kamala Harris because Kamala Harris wasn't actually making decisions. They were voting for Anthony Blinken and people like him to continue to run state, and people that at the DOD to continue to run the DOD. I mean, that's most of the United States policy decisions are made between state, DOD, and CIA. You know, at least when it comes to international policy.
We're unelected bureaucrats. I mean,
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what they are.
Federal rulemaking for
Yeah.
the departments. I mean, the EPA is a great example of this, and one of the greatest things that's happened to this country recently was the overturning of Chevron deference, where
Yeah.
federal bureaucrats do not get this sort of carte blanche agreement that their interpretation of legislation is correct. You actually have to prove that you were trying to make rules that abided with the language in the legislation, and so Congress has to be more specific with their legislative writing now to make sure that it's enacted correctly.
Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with, this is a bit of a change topic. Are you familiar with the situation in the Senate trying to get the amendments back onto to be able to amend laws that are brought up in the Senate and stuff?
No.
So there was one of the reasons why, or one of the things that was going down with the confirmation of Thune was they were trying to get someone that would actually bring back the amendment process for bills that are brought up in Congress, because now everything in Congress is full bill up or down.
It's straight to vote, yeah, I hear, yeah.
It's completely and totally useless. You can't actually craft
Right.
policies. Everyone just tries to shove whatever they can
And it's
into
all
every bill.
consensus in the smoke-filled room.
Yeah, and so it's not actually, like, they're not representing their constituents, they're not representing their states, they're just saying this bill, everything is omnibus, and it's all just garbage getting
Yeah, and then you get idiots saying, well, you don't support such and such because you
Exactly.
voted against this bill.
Which has like a
The other things in
bajillion
it.
Is that where like a majority of the pork barrel spending comes from?
Well, I mean, to a degree, yeah, because I mean, it's still had.
Sons of Darkness goal, okay? So let's dive deeper into it. How is it sold to the public? Global peace and stability, a unified framework for resolving conflict, reducing warfare, and promoting diplomacy, collaboration to eliminate extremism and foster mutual understanding among cultures and nations. Well, that sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Unified effort against global challenges. This is how they're selling it. Coordinated response to climate change, pandemics, and resource scarcity, shared scientific and technological advancements for global benefit. That all sounds wonderful. No wonder you can sell it on campus to the students so well, because it sounds good. Economic equality and prosperity, who doesn't want that? Equitable distribution of resources and wealth to eliminate extreme poverty and reduce inequality. A stable global economy supported by fair trade practices and universal basic income. Right? A lot of people think those are great ideas. Human rights and social justice, a universal charter protecting fundamental rights irrespective of nationality, gender, or race. Efforts to eradicate discrimination, exploitation, and systemic oppression. Sustainable development. Policies prioritizing environmental conservation, renewable energy, and sustainable agriculture. A focus on preserving natural resources for future generations. All of these are great goals. Sharing of breakthroughs in healthcare, education, and infrastructure to uplift all societies. Ethical use of AI, biotechnology, and other advanced technologies for humanity.